One of the great things about starting a career as a content creator is that you don't have to make a big investment in equipment or training. You can get started and thrive spending absolutely nothing, although you might want to spring for one or two enhancements when you begin earning something from your effort. But the focus on this piece is how you can get started without spending a red cent. Now, to be totally fair, if I must, which I guess I must, this assumes that you already have a smartphone, a computer, or a tablet that you can use. Other than that, all you need is a willingness to work hard and some time and a willingness to learn. I didn't say it was easy. I just said that the cost was not a barrier to entry, or it shouldn't be. And by the way, there are links to everything we talk about in the description. What's more, some of the software has a free and a paid version. If you use the free version, make sure it doesn't stick its watermark or logo somewhere on your work. You don't want to advertise to the world that you're using free software. Often the free version is more than adequate for the needs of a content creator, especially a starting out one. It may not have all the bells and whistles of the paid version, but it'll get you started. Okay, so what do you need to get started and what are the free tools to help you? Number one, you'll need to write either notes, scripts, articles, blog posts, or someday maybe even books. So you'll need some sort of a Word type document. If you have the Office suite on your computer, you'll be able to use that. But if you don't, you can use Google Docs in the cloud or FreeOffice. Number two, you'll need some images of yourself, headshots to use in various places. My last two headshots were photos my husband took when we were on vacation. To be honest, they were better than anything I've had done professionally, probably because I was completely relaxed and wasn't thinking I had to look professional. I cropped the photo so it doesn't show the wine glass I had in my hand at the time the picture was taken. So look through your photos and see if you have something that might work, with a little maneuvering. Number three, if you record videos, you'll need a mechanism to do that. And if you're serious about this, you probably will at some point. This is not as intimidating as it seems. When I started, I had a GoToWebinar account. So my first videos which were primarily podcasts, were recorded on that platform. Then we used the MP4 files on the YouTube channel, and the MP3 files were used for the podcasting channels. Probably not the best way to do this, but it got me started, and I didn't have to spend any money for it because I already had this GoToWebinar account. Today, I use StreamYard, a paid service. If I was just starting out today, I would simply use a Zoom account. Number four, you'll need some graphics to go along with the content you produce. Today, everything has a visual element. You'll need to learn how to make thumbnails for YouTube, and even if you're posting articles, you need some sort of a graphic to go along with it. This is not as difficult as it sounds, although getting good at it does take some skill, and if I'm going to be totally honest here, it's something I'm still working on. But this is just about getting you started. Anyone with even a modicum of design skills is probably going to cringe with what I'm about to share. But we've all got to start someplace. And since I was doing quite a bit of PowerPoint presentations, my thumbnails for all my YouTube videos were the graphics for my LinkedIn articles, LinkedIn groups, Facebooks, etc. were basically a single PowerPoint slide designed to look like it was interesting and saved as a JPEG file. Not great, but it works. You could also use Google Slides, and what you'll probably want to do if you're going to get serious about this design, the design features, is use Canva. Canva has a free version, and that's a good way to get started. And then once you get good at it, like I say, you might want to splurge, spend a few bucks to get their more advanced versions, but start with the free one. Number five, video editing is a skill most of us don't have. Some folks start out by being very careful when they record and upload the file without editing at all. The problem with this approach is that sometimes you have to do numerous takes because the phone rings, you sneeze in the middle of the recording, your husband, who by the way should know better, interrupts with an important question like, where are the chips, or whatever. But there is nothing wrong with starting like this. There are also several free video editing software tools that you can use, and they don't cost anything. These include the aforementioned Canva, OpenShot, and Microsoft Clipchamp. The latter comes pre-installed on Windows 11 device. I use DaVinci Resolve. Now, there is an extremely robust free version. There's also a paid version, but I use the free version. Initially, I had somebody doing the editing for me, I'm going to be honest. However, I was never satisfied with what they did, but I was a little overwhelmed at the thought of doing it myself. That being said, eventually I took the plunge when I realized the amount of work that I'd have to put in to get the B-roll that I wanted on the different things. And that was going to be so exhausting that I thought, okay, you may as well break down and learn this yourself. By this point, I knew what B-roll was those extra words and pictures that go on top of the original recording. I chatted with my friend and colleague who runs a similar business, and he said, hey, all those fitness guys do it. How hard can it be? All I can say about that comment is that it was a good thing he wasn't around that first time I was trying to edit that first video with DaVinci Resolve. Despite watching an excellent YouTube video on how to use DaVinci Resolve, it was brutal. I'm not going to lie about it, but I did it. And if I can do it, so can you. I probably only use 10% or even less of the free version. This software is used by professional movie makers and me. Was it worth the effort? Was there an easier way? All I can say is I can edit now, and yes, there probably was an easier way. I learned how to use it, and it has served me well, and it doesn't cost me anything. It's just different than most other software that I've used, and it's not as intuitive as I would like. But if you're up for the game, I can definitely recommend it. Number 6, YouTube enhancement tools. These tools will help you pick a better title, optimize your thumbnails, etc. There are free versions as well as paid versions. The best two are VidIQ and TubeBuddy. And again, links in the description. I started with the free version. Today I use the paid version of VidIQ, and I like it a lot. I will also sometimes use the free versions of ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot, especially if I'm having trouble deciding on a title, trying to figure out which is more appealing to a particular audience. Is it good and accurate? Good question. Not always, but it's like having someone to bounce ideas over. Just remember, at the end of the day, if you're using any AI tool, you're the one who makes the decision, and you need to make sure that whatever you end up using is accurate and doesn't make you look foolish. So it's a tool, but it's not going to take the place of your final decision making. And number 7, editing written content. Should you hire a professional editor to edit your content? Most people don't, and I certainly didn't, and I still don't. I keep both spell check and grammar check on all the time. I review their suggestions. The spelling is almost always right. The grammar check is not always correct. I also review what I've written, and then my husband proofreads what I've written. If you decide to use an editor, make sure they understand that all you want them to do is review the grammar and make it more concise. Some editors are quite good at this, but others will try and rewrite what you've written for reasons that I've never been able to ascertain. What's horrible about these rewrites is they often make it worse, and horrifically, they often introduce errors. So make sure you review what they've done if you decide to go that route. I'd much rather have a typo in my work than a factual error in my copy. Sometimes a good proofreader is really all you need. Are you itching to start or expand your content creating career? If so, click on the link that has appeared on your YouTube screen and watch our most recent video to help prepare you for starting and growing your content creation endeavors that get you the most. Good luck.